All right, we're back. This weekend we have UFC Fight Night Macau, Zhang versus Figueiredo. I'm gonna give my full card predictions. Apologies if you can hear like a bit of music. My parents are watching a movie downstairs. I don't know what they're watching, but it's just really loud. Um, but yeah, we're gonna get it going because this is already really late. Starting with the main event, both these guys last fought on the same card. Song is coming off the loss to Sean O'Malley, Figueiredo off the loss to Umar. And they're in somewhat of a similar situation to each other. Have had a lot of decisions recently. They're hard guys to like properly finish. They've been able to beat everyone except the guys at the top of the division. The Sean O'Malley's, the Piotr Jans, Corey Sandhagen's, Umar. Song, in my opinion, has given those guys more competitive fights compared to Figgy, and he's obviously younger and has more time to evolve and get better. And Figgy is at the end of his career. He's 38 years old. And in recent performances, I feel that he's shown to be slowing down a bit. Specifically in the last two with Umar and Montel Jackson. I thought those performances were just very mid. And I don't think that he looked great, in my opinion. But yeah, Song Yadong, he has a very, very good boxing heavy style. Has a good jab, good low kicks, always looks to land that left hook. Has a nice uppercut as well. When taken down, he's able to get back up. We've seen that against Piotr Jan and against Corey Sandhagen, and even Cejudo really struggled to even get to his legs. And he tried to attempt takedowns, but he just couldn't because he came prepared for that. And obviously, like I said, with Sandhagen and Piotr Jan, he got up relatively quickly from those takedowns. And yeah, he just has a very good style on the feet. Very good style, nice boxing style. His footwork is very like boxing related. You'll see it in his style. His boxing is by far the best part of his game. Davison Figueiredo obviously has a big power in his left hand. Has that karate stance, very bladed. Head back foot heavy, And he's been using his grappling a lot more recently. And obviously we know he's a former champion. And had that quadrilogy with Brandon Moreno. Some of the best fights you'll see. An underrated rivalry between the two of them. But yeah, it's pretty much sums up Figgy. But when it comes to the fight, I think Song has already had a pretty good warm-up for what this fight is going to sort of be like with the fight versus Henry Cejudo. Not only Figgy and Cejudo have that very similar karate stance and style on the feet, but they have trained with each other in the past. I think this fight will look pretty similar. And at the start of the fight, they're going to be very patient in round one. Both are going to build into the fight more and more. I think this being a 5-rounder actually benefits the both of them. I feel like they pace themselves better in 5-rounders compared to 3-rounders, and they're worse in 3-rounders. Figgy's going to start on the front foot. Song will be on the back foot looking to counter. But they'll be changing throughout the fight, and as the fight goes on, it's going to be Song being the one that is on the front foot way more, and Figgy will be more defensive and be on the ground and be on the outside, and Figgy will be attempting takedowns from very early on in this fight. But that to me would be the best route to victory, is taking Song down and maybe finding a submission or something. But like I said, like, Song has not only good takedown defense, but he's able to get up to his feet relatively quickly anyway. So Song has never been subbed in his entire career either, and I believe Song has so many more ways that he can win this fight. So let's get into those. When we're talking about the takedowns, Figgy, when he's trying to get a takedown, he kind of lets them come to him. Like, you're not going to see Figgy coming forward and like shoot a quick double leg or anything like that. Like, most of the time, he'll stay on the back foot and kind of draw his opponents to come forward. And the moment that they explode with the combination, he'll then level change and then try to get a takedown. Like, very, very Mateusz Gamrot and Esteban Ribovics as takedowns, Except I would say that Gamrot is a bit more unpredictable in the way that he does it, because he'll exchange with you on the feet. But Figgy almost, like, especially recently, has like almost always done that, and I feel like that he needs to be a bit more unpredictable with it and not be as predictable. but that's what he does. It's a good setup, you know, and like fair play to him, and he has good timing on it, and it's worked in the past. But I feel, as I said, he's getting very repetitive with this. Petr Yan and Corey Sandhagen caught on to it in their fights, but theirs were a bit different. Like, look, it looked like to me like Yan faked that he was gonna level change on Figgy, and then Figgy went and put his head down, tried to go for a double leg himself and or defend it. And as soon as he level changed, Yan caught him with a really nice uppercut and it dropped him. He timed it very perfectly. Sandhagen tried doing the exact same thing, but it didn't land as clean. And either way, whether it's faking the takedown and making Figgy bite, or faking that you're gonna come forward in combination to make him level change, that uppercut is gonna be there, and Song is going to look for it. Like, it could be the uppercut or the knee, either one. And speaking of that uppercut, what great transitions, by the way. Figgy in general is open to a lot of shots up the middle anyway. He doesn't really move his head. That's an issue. And like him having his head further back is kind of why. If he does move his head, it would be like a duck down. But him having his head back there makes it hard for guys to like really find the target in the first place. In the fight with Yan, he got caught with uppercuts repeatedly in that fight. Like, I'm telling you, it was that same setup with that takedown. And after he would land the uppercut, he would let those straight shots go when he pops his head right back up, and they landed clean, man. Song is gonna be doing the exact same thing. And Figgy doesn't really exchange on the inside either, which worries me even more, because we've seen Song KO Moraes with the uppercuts before, and he'll let his hands go on the inside, dude, with those combinations. Very quick and powerful. He's KO'd and hurt people badly with one shot at 135. Moraes, Ricky Simone, even Corey hurt Corey multiple times in that fight. With Figgy, it's been more flash knockdowns, like versus Yan and Cheeto. The Font one, he did have him hurt very bad, but it was more from like the left hook, I feel. He threw like a right hand and then a short little left hook. It was really nasty combination, and that left hook is what really hurt him. But I just feel that the power as well for Figgy hasn't really. I think that the power has translated, but the guys at 135 just take his power way better than the guys at 25 did, you know. And I think Song Yadong, especially like at 135, has more power than him, and he is quicker, you know. As I said, another thing, the left hook of Song is probably his best punch that I mentioned earlier, and he's gonna look for it. He always does. He always looks for that left hook, and I think it will be there when Figgy does go southpaw, because he does switch stances a lot throughout the fight. But he's gonna go southpaw whether he wants to in this fight or not, because Song is gonna be throwing those low kicks and he's gonna chop at that leg. He did it to Cejudo, and it literally forced him to go southpaw. And it's because I feel that it could be because of that stance, you know. They're very back foot heavy and the lead leg is very light, so they're there to be hit. But I don't know, it's a bit of a weird thing. It's a bit of a controversy, like back foot heavy, front foot heavy, which one's harder to defend the low kicks. A quick thing also, Figgy's going to attack Song's legs too to slow him down, because he won't be as explosive with his punches and move around as good. And Cejudo had a weird thing in their fight where he hit like Song's peroneal nerve and it made his foot go to sleep for a second. But other than that, he defends takedowns. He defends the low kicks pretty well, and it doesn't really affect Song all that much. But back to the point before, I think if it becomes that where Figgy's leg is compromised and he's taking too much damage from orthodox and he has to go southpaw, I honestly think it would benefit him fighting southpaw versus Song Yadong. Yan and Corey had success fighting southpaw against Song. O'Malley one is a bit different. It's not really the same. But Cejudo had success. He threw jabs from southpaw and would land that left hand behind it. It was landing clean on Song and it was doing good damage. It seems to be something that's very awkward for Song to deal with. And I think Figgy will do it. But if Figgy is trying to land that right hand from southpaw as a lead jab, it not only opens up the opportunity to land the uppercut, but it also opens up the opportunity to land that left hook, which, as I said, I think is Song's probably best punch, in my opinion. And from orthodox, if Figgy throws and leads with the right hand, Song is going to be able to slip to the outside and counter the left hook, or pivot with the hook. But I feel that that's a bit dumb to do when you know all Figgy wants to do and land the right hand. Like, I feel like it's putting yourself too close to that danger of being caught with that. As where if Figgy is throwing the right hand as a jab from southpaw and they're kind of pawing at each other's lead hand, Figgy's going to be a lot closer for Song to just shoot the left hook quick. And that's why I'm saying Song just has so many ways he can win this fight. And on top of this, if Song in a 5-round fight isn't able to land one of those clean shots on Figgy and not able to finish him, then he can outpoint Figgy for 5 rounds and getting in and out of range and just landing shots and just destroying him over 5 rounds, you know? But to give my final prediction, I knew who I was going to go with as soon as the fight was announced. I don't see how he loses the fight. And it's honestly probably one of my more confident main event predictions I've had. I'm going to go with Song Yudong to win by decision. But I could also see a late TKO. Because again, I think at some point Song is going to he's going to land either the left hook when Figgy is southpaw or the uppercut when he's trying to level change. But I'm just siding more with, or kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt, I guess, that Figgy will be able to survive, because he's never been properly TKO'd in his career. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, what if this is the first time, you know? As I said, like, I don't know. There's a lot of things that just aren't in Figgy's favor right now. He's at the end of his career, his age. If he loses, there's a chance that he retires. Hasn't had a 5-rounder since the Yan fight, which I think even though he lost was probably one of his best performances at 135 in a way, like just basing it off the level of opposition. But his recent performances haven't been good, man. Versus Umar was too hesitant to throw, and he had a bad weight cut. Versus Montel Jackson, it was the same thing. I mean, except that weight cut, but got an injury versus Corey as well, you know. And like, as I'm saying all these things, it's making me want to go with a Song Yudong TKO, like late TKO. But one thing I will give Figgy though is that he's been very active. Like this will already be his second fight of 2026, and every year before he has been fighting 2 or 3 times a year. Like, that isn't the sign. It's not a sign of a guy who thinks that he's slowing down, you know. I'm gonna say if Figgy were to win somehow, because I don't see him winning at all, but it would come from putting Song on the back foot, obviously landing that right hand, landing low kicks himself, even timing some of Song's low kicks and countering and shooting the right hand off of that. I think that's very important. Maybe with the left hook behind it also, you know. Figgy landed something similar like that on Rob Font, as I mentioned earlier, with that right hand left hook, and it hurt him bad. Cejudo also had success with that too, that combination against Song. You know, he has to be choosing his moments to get the takedowns, but not be too repetitive with it. Draw him into it more. When southpaw, it'll be easier to try and get the lead leg also to get your takedowns. And if you get him down, control him as much as you can. Try to get to the back and look for subs. When back on the feet, go southpaw and annoy him with that lead hand. Turn back orthodox, then feint and throw the right hands and more straight shots. But that's the thing. I don't see Figgy winning a decision at all, bro. Like, I really don't. And all his finishes in his career have come within the first 2 rounds. I don't see that happening either. I don't. Both guys are hard to finish. I don't see them finishing each other. I'll go with Song by decision, but I think both will be able to deal with the pace. Song will land those big shots in moments. Figgy will probably get dropped a couple times, but he will recover well. And Song will outpoint him throughout the fight. Wherever the fight goes, he'll be ready. I think this is just a horrible matchup for Figgy. Song Yudong, to me, is very underrated and he's very overlooked in this division. I know he's come up short in the fights that mattered most so far, but he gave all those guys tough fights. O'Malley, Corey gave him problems, a bunch of problems. Piotr Jan as well. And can he be a champion is a different story. Like, if I'm being honest, probably not, because there's guys on the come up in bantamweight that are very good too. The bantamweight division's so stacked, but I just want to say, like, Song Yudong is very underrated. He's very overlooked, and I like him. I like his boxing. I think he's gonna win this fight. Like, it's tough to see for Figgy, but Just is what it is, man. I'm gonna go with Sung Yadong to win that fight in the co-main. Zhang versus Alonzo Menifield. Zhang coming off the loss to Johnny Walker. He was on a massive win streak before that. All his wins have come by round 1 finish. 13 of them being by TKO, 6 by sub. Recently, all of them have been KOs. But every time he's gone past the first round, he's always lost. Every stoppage loss came in round 1 or round 2. And the one time he went to a decision, he lost also. So if the fights get out of the first round, you might as well just call it a day. Zhang puts guys on the back foot with his pressure, has big power in his hands, good elbows in close range, has never even attempted a takedown under the UFC banner. But he has good ground and pound. Menifield at the start of his career was known for the same thing as Zhang, knocking everyone out early in fights, but as his career went on, he slowed that down a bit after he received his first losses, and his losses recently have all been by very early finish. Within the first 2 rounds, the last fight was a loss to Uzdemir in round 1. Before that, he beat Umar C and Juicebox. Was at that fight. Then lost to Mirzakhanov and Carlos Olberg, which like these aren't bad losses like whatsoever, you know. But they've been to guys who hit pretty hard and is now fighting Zhang, who is known for that. But Menifield is known for that also. He has big power in his hands. He's very wild. I would say Zhang is a lot more technical than him. The fight's not going to last long, and the first round is going to be insane as long as it lasts. Menifield being a bit shorter than him will help Zhang find the target easier. He struggled to hit Johnny Walker cleanly because he's a very tall and big dude. He's now going up to heavyweight. Menifield in pretty much every fight has gone hurt or wobbled at some point throughout, and I believe Zhang is going to be able to do the same. So I'm going to go with him to win by round 1 KO. I think Zhang is going to get Menifield on the back foot very quickly. Menifield doesn't have the footwork to stay off the cage, and that's the real danger zone. And he's probably going to try to take Zhang down from early and get a hold of him. But when he defends, they get in that close range, he will throw those elbows like Juicebox was doing to Menifield earlier in their fight too. And Zhang will be able to land a very big shot. If they're exchanging with each other, it's going to be dangerous for the both of them, obviously. But even Menifield, he doesn't really like exchange with like that. He kind of waits for the barrage to be over, and then he'll counter after it, or he'll just counter before. And as long as Zhang doesn't run into like a left hook or something, he'll win. Even like what I said earlier, I was kind of joking. I could see this fight being the first fight where Zhang wins if it goes past round 1. Because Menifield already moves a bit sluggish in round 2, but it's not going past round 1. Like, I really doubt it. I got Zhang to win. I want Menifield to win, though. I like Menifield. I don't rate Zhang like that. Like, I really don't. Sergey Pavlovich versus Teixeira. Pavlovich is on a 2-fight win streak, beating Walter Cortez Acosta and Jorginho Rosenstrike by decision. Was known for knocking everyone out until in round 1 until he ran into Tom Aspinall, and he hasn't been putting on the best performances since that loss. In the loss to Volk and even Volkov, and these 2 wins, they haven't been the best. But he still has he's only lost to the top of the division. Teixeira had an 100% finish rate in all his fights, winning every single one in the first round and within a minute. But it was up until his last one with Taito Ivasa, which I think has aged pretty badly. Sutherland dominated Tai more than Teixeira did. It's like really not a good look. And Teixeira was trying to take him down from early. And just before that fight, he had received the first loss of his career from Derek Lewis in a round. And it probably wasn't the best stoppage either, but he did use the fence to get up, so it was fine. He still got hurt very early on in that fight. Pavlovich beat both those guys in the first round nearly 4 years ago when they were at the top of the heavyweight division. And it was a very different era of heavyweight, yeah, but Tai was in somewhat of a title eliminator with Cyril Gane and had a war with him. And Derek Lewis had just fought for Gane for an interim bout. And they're making this matchup because they saw Pavlovich struggle with another very tall guy in Volkov. But I think if Pavlovich comes with the pressure and puts Teixeira on the back foot and is able to defend the takedowns from Teixeira, land low kicks, jab to the body, cut the cage off, get on the inside against the fence, and then land those right hands upstairs. Derek Lewis and Tai got on the inside, and he can as well. He absolutely will. He just needs to be careful of the kicks that are coming back his way, and like those shots up the middle from Teixeira when he's trying to get on the inside, like that front kick. But I think Pavlovich will win by KO in round 1, but I could see it being in round 2 also, where Teixeira survives the first round. Me saying it being a 1-round fight is a bit dangerous for both. I just think the only reason like Tai genuinely didn't have a chance to finish Teixeira in the first round in the fight was because he got taken down. I don't see Pavlovich allowing himself to get taken down. And even if it goes past round 1, like I said, I could see it ending in round 2. Pavlovich is still at the top of the heavyweight division, and this is by far the hardest fight of Teixeira's career. I think Pavlovich is gonna beat him, man. Kai Asakura versus Cameron Smotherman. Kai Asakura was a guy coming from Ryzen. He had a lot. He was coming with a lot of hype. Was a champ there. Had fought the likes of Kyoji Horiguchi and Mano Cop. Had a lot of early KO wins, most of them in round 1, but he's yet to win a fight in the UFC. You know, he lost to Pantoja by sub in his debut for the title. I mean, that loss literally doesn't matter. It's Pantoja. But then he lost to Tim Elliott by submission, which put a lot of people off. And yeah, Tim Elliott's a very tricky guy, but with how high regarded Kai Asakura was, he realistically really should have won that fight. I was in shock when he lost. But now he's decided to move back up to 135. He said he really struggled with the cut to 125. Every single fight he's had at Ryzen was at bantamweight. I really wonder why the UFC decided to have him fight Pantoja at the time anyway. I mean, it was probably just like the state of flyweight at the time, but I can't remember. Them throwing him into that in his debut, I think in hindsight was like kind of a bad thing because it kind of put a lot of pressure on him like right off the jump, and people again are still waiting for that big Kai Asakura performance, and he just hasn't delivered it. And fuck, I just broke my pen. Damn it. But I believe the weight cut did affect him a lot. And all his losses in Ryzen were to good guys as well, and all in rematches. Like I said, everyone's still waiting for that big performance, and he really needs a win right now. Like, he really, really needs one. Kai Asakura is a really unique striker. He throws a lot of wild things, flying knees to the head and the body. Very explosive and will blitz out of nowhere. Looks for quick counters on the back foot, but when he gets pressured or blitzed by his opponents, he does leave his chin in the air a bit. And he leaves it a bit high, doesn't move his head. Keeps his hands a bit lower. He tries to back up and circle away to avoid shots a lot of the time, but he does it very erratically, and he gets caught sometimes. He has been hurt a lot, and his ground game is what really, really lacks. Cameron Smotherman, also on a 2-fight losing streak, had that really bad weight cut, where we saw him like play on his face afterwards. It's really bad. At least he made weight this time. His only win in the UFC came in his debut versus Jake Hadley. Smotherman is very patient on the feet, very planted stance, keeps his hands high, low output. Usually always second and tries to counter with his punches, but rips to the body also. He just really just uses his boxing. Likes to stay on the feet, has good takedown defense. Doesn't attempt takedowns. I honestly think this fight genuinely could be pretty boring. Because they're going to end up in a stalemate where I think they could end up in a stalemate where they're both trying to counter each other and it's just very low output. And no one's taking any really big risks early on. Smotherman's not going to try and blitz Asakura for him to be able to land a counter. I was watching the Juan Archuleta fight in Ryzen. He's not going to blitz him like that. And Smotherman might try to get takedowns, but that's not his game. Like I said, he doesn't do that. And yeah, Kai Asakura doesn't really have good takedown defense, but I think he would be able to get up from a takedown from Cameron Smotherman. I don't think it would be an issue even if he does. I think Kai Asakura is better than Cameron Smotherman, but the matchup is going to make it hard for him to find a finish. I think I'm gonna go with Kai Sakura to win by decision. Or I'm just completely wrong, and Kai Sakura puts the pressure on him early and blitzes him with the combinations and gets a finish within 2 rounds. Like maybe that happens, but it's actually crazy. I thought I was gonna like the whole week. I was like, I'm gonna like, I think Kai Sakura's gonna win in a round because like I don't rate Cameron Smotherman like that. Like I just don't. But I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it with this one. Like this one doesn't feel like the big performance. You know, it's just the matchup. It's not that Kai Sakura can't get a finish, but like it's just the matchup. I feel, and I think that big Asakura win is gonna have to wait. If he ends up losing somehow, it's gonna be really, really bad, man. So, but I think he'll win. I want to see him win. You know, Jake Matthews versus Carlson Harris. Matthews was meant to fight Salikov on this card. Jake Matthews is coming off the loss to Neil Magny by submission in round 3. Was a bit controversial, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. Before that fight, he was on a 3-fight win streak, and a lot of the losses over the course of his career were to good guys. As I said, the Magny one was controversial. Lost to Michael Morales. Sean Brady took Morales to a decision. Was 3 years ago, but still, he came into the UFC very young, and he has evolved massively. Well-rounded fighter and dangerous everywhere. Harris is on a 2-fight losing streak to Ponzinibbio and Chaos Williams by TKO. And like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything, but I haven't been impressed with Carlson Harris's performances. Like, and the TKO loss to Ponzinibbio isn't great. You know, he did drop him multiple times in the fight, but he couldn't get a stoppage. I'm going to go with Jake Matthews to win by finish in round 1 or 2. I could see a TKO, and even though Harris hasn't been subbed in his career, I could see this being the first time that happens, you know. Matthews on his day still is a very, very dangerous fighter, you know. Alex Perez versus Sumudaerji. Perez had a big TKO win last time out versus Charles Johnson. Shocked a lot of people. He still has only lost to good guys in the division: Figueiredo, Pantoja, Mokaev, Taita, Almabayev. Every finish he's had came in round 1 or round 2. Very active in his movement. Boxing's good. Throws in combos. Body head. Nice low kicks. He can wrestle. Sumudaerji's on a 3-fight win streak to Jesus Aguilar, Kevin Borjas, Mitch Raposo, which are pretty decent wins. Has lost to some of the lower ranked guys in the division. Had a war with Matt Schnell, but again, that was a bit while ago. He's evolved a bit since then. That Schnell fight was insane, by the way. I rewatched it. He has a lot of KO wins, but his last 4 have gone to a decision. Sumudaerji is super tall and he's long for 125, and he's not 5'8". It says that he's 5'8". My ass, he's 5'8". He's not 5'8". He's a southpaw too, and dude, that all in itself, tall, long for 125, southpaw, that already causes issues, you know. That's just a nightmare to deal with. He stays at range and stays long with his kicks, looks to land that straight left hand. Nice elbows in close range. Guys that have struggled to get the inside of him recently, you know. Defense takedowns well also. When taken down, if he's taken down, he doesn't let guys settle either. I'm going to go with Sumudaerji to win by close decision. And I didn't think I was going to say that. I think Perez is going to try and put the pressure on it, but it will struggle to get on the inside like everyone else has. Sumudaerji is going to get his kicks going, stay long, maybe try to set up some knees when Perez is trying to get to the inside. Perez is going to look to take him down throughout. That to me would be his best path to victory, but as I said, Sumudaerji defends well against them. Like we saw it against Mitch Raposo. Never really let him get settled or anything. And Sumudaerji he's just a tricky guy, as I said, you know? It's just a nightmare, but it'll be very competitive. I think it could end up being another time where we underestimate Alex Perez and he ends up shocking everyone again, but I don't know if he's a favorite in this fight, actually. I'm not sure. But, dude, I really thought I was going to go with Alex Perez on this one. But, yeah, this card is shocking me more and more. Like, before, I was like, what is it about this card? Like, I don't really see it. Like, especially, this main card has good names, but it's not really, like, the matchups don't really make sense to me. But now I understand. Now I understand. But, yeah. That's it for the main card. Okay, I have to go somewhere, so I need to be really quickly on these. I'm going to go with Diaz to win by finish in round 2. I'm going to go with Meng to win this one. I'm going to back my boy Haddon to win this fight by decision. I'm excited to see him back. Gurule is making a big quick turnaround. Finally, I see Ray Saruya come back. I'm going to go with Saruya by decision. I don't think he'll be able to find a submission. Zhang by decision. Vera by decision. He has more paths to victory. And Luke Boomy by decision. I don't see Amorim finishing her. And Luke Boomy will be able to defend the takedown. So, yeah.